Greetings and namaste. This is Sybil Baker. We're here today to talk about healing oils of the Bible. I don't know if you've had an experience with pranic healing yet. Pranic healing is an energy-based healing modality that I've been talking about in some of my blogs recently. And maybe you've signed up for the classes that are coming up. But what I wanted to talk to you about today is about healing oils of the Bible. A friend of mine in pranic healing a long time ago would always repeatedly introduce me to the essential oils. And I was interested in the essential oils, but I really did not get how important the essential oils were. And then one day I came across the healing oils of the Bible, and I found the organic chemistry of the healing oils of the Bible. Now, I will tell you, when I took organic chemistry in college, I was not so excited about organic chemistry as I was when I started reading about the healing oils of the Bible and their chemistry. So, welcome to this presentation, and I look forward to presenting this material that has become very important to me for my own healing, that of my family, and also I recommend to my clients. Okay, oils, incense, perfumes, ointments, spices, and fragrances are mentioned throughout the Bible. And why are they mentioned so often? And what role did they have in healing? So that's one of the questions that we are planning to answer tonight in this presentation. You've heard about frankincense and myrrh and why these were particularly given to the gifts of the baby Jesus' birth. That's a curious question, right? So we'll answer those too. Anointed with oil or anointing with oil. Why would you want to anoint anything? And what oils would you use when you did that? Essential oils usage in modern times, so how can we use them today? They used them back in the old days, but how about now? And how exactly do these healing essential oils work to facilitate healing in our bodies? That would be the organic chemistry part. All right, so let's venture on here. In Ezekiel chapter 47, verse 12, it says, "But the river on both banks will grow fruit trees of all kinds. Their leaves won't wither, their fruit won't fail. Every month they'll bear fresh fruit because the river from the sanctuary flows to them. Their fruit will be for food and their leaves for healing." So what are essential oils? Essential oil references are in the Bible many, many times. Interestingly, 1,031 times are there references to essential oils. There's 33 species of essential oils mentioned. There's 191 references to oil and 7 specifically to olive oil. So what are these essential oils? Essential oils are natural aromatic compounds. They come from plants or parts of plants. Some come from the seeds of plants. Some come from the bark or the stems. Some from the roots and others from the flowers. All of them are from parts of plants. Look here at this peppermint plant. Do you see these leaves? Probably you've rubbed the peppermint plant. You know when you rub the peppermint plant, it feels rough. And if you notice in this enlargement of the peppermint plant, these little spikes that are up on the leaf, those are the things you feel when you rub the peppermint plant. So that's what is one of the protectors of the peppermint plant, and also of the sacs of the oil of the peppermint plant, which are right here. So these are sacs of peppermint oil. Did you know that essential oils are 70 times more potent than dried herbs? And in the case of peppermint, just 1 drop of peppermint essential oil is equivalent to 28 cups of peppermint tea. Now that's pretty strong stuff. So where do we get these oils? Well, they grow from the plants, as we said, and they're very potent when they're grown in the part of the world and the lands that they're indigenous to. So you can see that there's indigenous plants throughout the entire world. Now, essential oils are a big part of production in the world, and most of the essential oil production is synthetic. It's used in the perfumery industry or as an industrial use. A smaller portion of it is used for food and has a food standard. An even smaller part is therapeutic, so they are labeled as having a health benefit. And then a very, very, very small part of all essential oils are called certified pure therapeutic grade. Certified pure therapeutic grade means that the oil is verified as true. It means more than just organic oil. It means it's more pure than organic. It means it's free of pesticides. It means it's free of contaminants. It means that the plant was sourced from native origins, not just grown on any lands. And it means that there were third-party testers that were used to certify the purity and the potency of the oil. So we know that there's no impurities in the oil. We know that there's no contaminants in the oil. We know that there's no extra synthetic contamination of the oil and no dilution in the oil. So certified pure therapeutic grade is the purity that you want to look for in your oils. We want to use the highest quality of essential oils. Okay, so how can we use essential oils? One way that we can use essential oils is aromatically. So as we inhale those essential oils, they go directly to the emotional centers in our brain. And the chemistry of the essential oil can instantaneously change our mood. So it's a very fine property of the oils to use them aromatically for mood alteration. So if you're feeling down, you can just smell some essential oil and change your mood instantaneously. It's very adjunctive to the level 3 pranic healing class, where we look at mental and emotional well-being. There we look at how the energy centers are balanced or imbalanced and cause different emotions in people. But aromatically, we can use essential oils to also help augment that. We can also use the essential oils topically. The bottom of the feet is a wonderful place to place essential oils. The pores on the bottom of the feet are very large, and so the oils will be absorbed there almost instantaneously. And if you're using hot oils like basil or cinnamon or something like that, those oils don't burn the skin as much on the bottom of the feet as they do on the more delicate areas. And the last way we can take essential oils is internally. So for example, if you put some lemon oil in your water, as you drink it, it slowly detoxifies heavy metals from the body. So we can use these essential oils in a variety of ways. Now, some essential oils have cautions on them about internally taking. Maybe those oils aren't certified pure therapeutic grade. Not all oils can be taken internally safely, but I would challenge you to think, if you are inhaling the oil or aromatically, you're taking it into your body. If you're applying it to your skin and absorbing it through your skin, you're taking it into your body. So just be very aware of the oils that you are using for your daily life. So let's talk a little bit about our body. Did you know that our bodies have 75 to 100 trillion cells? That's a lot of cells. But more importantly, each cell has 6 gigabytes of memory. How many gigabytes does your computer have? You know, every cell in your body has 6 gigabytes of memory. Now, our cells communicate to each other in various ways, but 2 important ways are one through the nervous system. So our neurons have to have connections and talk to each other. So your neurons have to communicate information out so your body moves and responds the way it's supposed to, and it also has to have feedback back in the term of sensory communication. Other ways that our cells communicate is through hormones. So the body will send out a hormone which will go to a certain receptor site on the cell, which will then lock into that receptor site and then cause a certain change in the cells. Now, if our receptor sites get covered with toxins or different kinds of things in the body, then the hormones can't attach properly. So then we would have a reduced reaction to those hormones. Now, these essential oils are amazing. There are 40 million trillion molecules, 40 million trillion molecules or more in every drop of essential oil. So you can see that only 1 drop of essential oil will cover all of your 100 million cells many times over. So the fun thing is we only need 1 drop of essential oil to do a huge, amazing amount of work in our body. Now, how and why can these oils heal? There's various reasons why these oils can heal. One is related to the chemistry of the oils. So yes, we are going to have a short chemistry lesson here. One is related to the vibrational frequency of the oil, as we talked about at the beginning, and one is through prayer. So let's investigate all of this. Okay, the first class of essential oils are the phenols or the phenylpropanoids. These oils are very important. Remember those receptor sites that I told you can get clogged up so the communication can't occur as well in cells? Well, this class of essential oils actually cleans those receptor sites on the cell surface. So they can increase proper transfer of hormones and peptides and neurotransmitters and other intracellular messengers. So they're very important to us. Then there's the sesquiterpenes. The sesquiterpenes deprogram bad information. They work subcellularly. So they're going to affect your membrane fluidity, the amount of oxygen transfer. Therefore, they're very oxygenating to our body. They're mood elevating. And importantly, they deprogram miswritten and garbled codes in our DNA. So they help repair our cellular membrane. Then we have the monoterpenes. Monoterpenes reprogram and correct information, and they're very hostile to microbes. They work at intracellular and subcellular levels, and they protect us against free radicals, which cause rapid aging and cause a lot of inflammation and other problems, health problems in the body. They also reprogram cells with correct information so we can reestablish the healthy state. Very important, monoterpenes. Esters, on the other hand, are very calming. They're stress reducing, and they help us release emotionally. So as you can see, the different classes of chemicals that are in the oils make the oils support and facilitate the health and well-being of our body. So let's talk about frequency now. We said we'd talk about vibration. Essential oils have frequencies between 52 and 320 megahertz. Rose oil has the highest vibration. And lower frequency oils resonate with the frequency of our bones and our joints. So if you put on a lower frequency oil, then you can deliver healing directly to the bones and to the joints. If we compare the oils frequencies with those of herbs, if we look at fresh herbs, they measure 20 to 27 megahertz. The dried, only 12 to 22. Our fresh produce from our gardens is 5 to 10 megahertz. And if we have processed and canned food, well, we really don't get much energy from that at all. So very, very interesting. So let's look at the human body. So if the essential oils have frequencies between 52 and 320 megahertz, the healthy human body has frequencies that measure 62 to 68 megahertz. If your vibration falls less than 58 megahertz, then your cold symptoms are going to start to manifest. And at 57, you will have flu symptoms. Isn't it amazing that the frequency of the body allows for certain things to manifest? Now, when our frequency drops even more, down to 47 megahertz, then cancers can begin to grow there. So it's important to realize that cancer cells can only thrive in an environment where the vibration is low. So think about this. If you could keep the vibration of your body higher, either through use of essential oils or when we do pranic healing, we raise the vibration of our body too, then the likelihood that you get some of these serious diseases would diminish. Now, the body starts its death process at 57 megahertz. And then, of course, final death is at 0 megahertz. So one of the most important healing aspects of these oils is to increase our body's frequencies to levels where diseases cannot exist. Okay, so let's look at prayer. When prayer is delivered to the essential oils, it raises the vibration of the oils. Now, it can raise it as much as 10 millihertz, or depending on the type of person who actually is doing the blessing, it can raise it even more. What is prayer? Prayer is divine energy. As the divine energy comes in through our body and we use it to bless the oil, the oil vibration can be raised. So if the pipe for the divine energy is very small, the amount of energy available to the oil would be the same. But if the pipe is very, very big, for someone who's very spiritually developed or evolved, then the vibration of the oil would be raised much more with the prayer. Now, our negative thoughts, our negative emotions, they actually decrease the oil's vibration. If they decrease the oil's vibration, just think about what they do to our own vibration. So, prayer raises the vibration, negative thoughts lower the vibration. And again, our goal is to keep our vibration high. Okay, let's talk about anointing. The holy anointing oil was an integral part of the ordination of the priesthood and the high priest, as well as consecration of articles of the tabernacle and subsequent temples in the body. It was used for healing. It was used to anoint people to go on missions. So we have what's here is the recipe of the holy anointing oil as described in Exodus 30, verses 22 to 25. Now, I will tell you there are several recipes for a holy anointing oil in the Bible, but this is the one that I chose to share with you today. To make this anointing oil, you need pure myrrh, 500 shekels, sweet cinnamon, 250 shekels, sweet calamus, 250 shekels, cassia, 500 shekels, and olive oil, 1 hin. So you can see what the modern translations are. So you need about 12.5 pounds of myrrh. Half of that in cinnamon and calamus, and about the same amount exactly of cassia, and then 1 hin is 4 quarts. So this is the holy anointing oil. So the holy anointing oil was poured out, as I said, to anoint people, for healing of people, and also for objects in the temples for purification. All right, now let's go on and talk a little bit about these oils. Gift for a king. What were those 2 gifts for the king, right? The baby king, the baby Jesus. The first was frankincense. Frankincense is called the king of oils. And you'll see here shortly why it's called the king of oils. But first, let's look at this frankincense tree. So this is a frankincense tree. And this frankincense tree grows best source in Oman. And Oman is a very desolate and difficult land. It has, you can tell from the tree, it doesn't have much liquid. It also looks like it has wind conditions because most of the tree is on the left. And you can see that the bark is very highly scarred. So this tree is pretty gnarly. And since the oil is a protectant for the tree, we get the best quality frankincense from the trees that are most challenged in their growing environment. So frankincense is harvested by slicing the bark of the tree and allowing the sap of the tree to come out. Those are called frankincense trees, that resin. And then you can see how when it's dried, it makes this kind of hard resin. It's a very fragrant resin, and it can be made into the oil then from the resin. Frankincense was valued more than gold during ancient times. It symbolized divinity, and it was one of the 3 gifts given to the baby Jesus at birth. It was used to anoint the newborn sons of kings and priests, which may explain why it was brought to the baby Jesus by the Magi. And along with being used in worship, frankincense was used for a variety of purposes, such as incense, medical treatment, and perfume. It also was an anointing oil, and it was a cure for everything. And it was thought to assist one in the transition of death. And it was used as an embalming perfume. Frankincense has the properties of being anti-cancer, antimicrobial. It helps sustain and maintain a healthy immune response. And it's very stimulating and elevating to the mind. If you diffuse frankincense in your diffuser, it's very, very stimulating and elevating to the mind. It's very helpful for overcoming stress and depression. And interestingly, it's very good for skincare. So a lot of your skin products have frankincense in it. It'll reduce your acne, wrinkles. It helps heal wounds and cuts and scar tissue. It's very dissipating for osteoarthritis and rheumatoid arthritis. And it's safe therapy for asthma, inflammatory bowel disease. It's an analgesic, natural painkiller. It also helps with it as an expectorant, and it is also useful for disorders of the uterus. So when in doubt, use frankincense. Okay, the next one was myrrh. Myrrh is a similar tree to frankincense. It was first mentioned in the Bible in Genesis 37, where the Ishmaelite caravan carried Joseph into slavery in Egypt. When Jacob sent his son to Egypt for food, he told them to take along myrrh as a gift for the man in charge. So you can see again the myrrh tree, and you can also see that myrrh is resin, just like the frankincense was. Myrrh was very valuable in biblical times, and it was imported from India and Arabia. Liquid myrrh was used to make the holy anointing oil and the anointing of the priests and of the articles in the tabernacle. Pregnant women anointed themselves so they could be protected against infectious disease, and they used it after childbirth to prevent or remove abdominal stretch marks, and also put it on the umbilical cords of their newborns to protect from infection, which symbolically, interestingly enough, is meant to cut off generational curses. So again, myrrh is another resin oil, very, very powerful. It has anti-infectious, antiviral, anti-parasitic actions. It also has hormone-like actions. It's very anti-inflammatory. It soothes skin conditions and supports your immune system. It's been used for bronchitis, diarrhea, dysentery, hyperthyroidism, stretch marks, thrush, which is a yeast of the mouth, ulcers, vaginal thrush, and viral hepatitis. It may help asthma, athlete's foot, again, candida is yeast, coughs, eczema, many, many things. Gum infections, it's very good for gingivitis and gum infections. It's useful on hemorrhoids, ulcers in the mouth, ringworm, which is fungal infection, sore throats, skin conditions of chapped and cracked skin, wounds, and wrinkles. It balances your thyroid and endocrine system, supports your immune system. It's very emotionally releasing, and it has anti-tumor properties. So look at this. These frankincense and myrrh were very, very healthful oils to give to the baby. Okay, let's look at the aloes. In the Bible, it talks about the aloes a lot. Aloes are really the sandalwoods. Many botanists believe that the aloes came from sandalwood, one of the oldest incenses known to man. Its 4,000-year history includes use as carved wood, as well as distillation for its sweet, woody, and fruity scented oil. And a great quantity of myrrh and aloes were used in preparing Christ's body for burial. So how does sandalwood work? Well, sandalwood is high in sesquiterpenes. So it's known for their ability to stimulate the pineal gland. The pineal gland is a very important gland when we talk about spirituality. And when you take pranic healing and you enter into that doorway, you can also then enter in the doorway of the spiritual aspect of pranic healing, and you will learn more about the spiritual aspects of the pineal gland. Sandalwood also enters into the limbic system, and the limbic system is our emotional brain. For the physical level, the pineal gland is responsible for releasing melatonin. It's a very powerful antioxidant and enhances deep sleep. And then similar to frankincense oil, it supports nerves and circulation. In ancient times, it helped with meditation. It was an aphrodisiac, and it was used in embalming. Today, we use it in skincare to enhance deep sleep, to support female reproductive and endocrine systems. It's also been used for urinary tract infections, and it may help dry or dehydrated skin. Emotionally, it may help unlock emotional trauma from the DNA of cells. Our cells are very smart. They have lots of memory, as we said, so many gigabytes of memory. Our emotions get locked in there. Sandalwood also helps oxygenate the pineal and pituitary glands, and therefore our attitude can be improved. Cassia. Cassia is very similar to cinnamon. It's also one of the ingredients in the holy anointing oil, and the incense was burned daily in the temple. And although the aroma is similar to cinnamon, it is chemically and physically quite different. It is antibacterial, antiviral, and antifungal. Traditionally used as an immune system builder, it's often used for dyspepsia, which is upset stomach, or colic with nausea. In Chinese medicine, it's particularly useful for vascular disorders, which are circulation or disorders. And cassia oil is among the most antiseptic of all the oils, so it's very good to have in your first aid kit. Cinnamon. This is the forest of cinnamon. Cinnamon comes from the inner layers of the bark of the tropical evergreen tree that is prominently found in Sri Lanka. In ancient times, it was used in a holy anointing oil and in perfume. Today, we can use it for antimicrobial uses and cleansing. It has a combination of powerful compounds, and it's one of the most powerful antibacterial, antimicrobial, antiparasitic, and antifungal oils of all. Several lab tests have shown it to be effective or better than several antibiotics. Historically, it's been applied for several tropical diseases, typhoid, and helps regulate blood sugar. We can diffuse it, we can apply it topically, we can use it orally, and we can also burn it as an incense. The cypress tree is renowned for its durability. The door of St. Peter's Cathedral in Rome is said to be made of cypress, and for example, shows no signs of decay even after 100 or 1,200 years. Some Bible scholars believe that cypress may be the gopher wood that was used to build Noah's Ark. Cypress improves circulation and supports the nerves and intestines. It's anti-infections, antibacterial, antimicrobial, and strengthens your blood capillaries. Traditionally, it's been used for arthritis, bronchitis, circulation, cramps, hemorrhoids, insomnia, intestinal parasites, menopause, pancreas insufficiencies, so like diabetes, pulmonary infections, rheumatism, which is like arthritis, spasms, throat problems, varicose veins, and fluid retention. It's a long list. It may be beneficial for asthma. It may help reduce cellulite. It strengthens the circulatory system, connective tissue, helps with coughs and edema, which is swelling, improves your energy, gallbladder, helps with bleeding gums, and hemorrhaging, which is bleeding in general, laryngitis, which is loss of your voice, liver disorders, muscular cramps, nervous tension, nosebleeds, and ovarian cysts. It's outstanding when it's used in skincare, and it lessens scar tissue. Another very impressive oil. Emotionally, cypress influences and strengthens and helps ease the feeling of loss. It creates a feeling of security, grounding, and helps heal emotional trauma. Next, we have cedarwood. Cedarwood is one of my favorite, actually. It's another one of the resin oils. It helps support and maintain healthy respiratory function, promotes clear, healthy skin. It's relaxing, and it has a very soothing aroma. Comes from tree bark. It's the highest in sesquiterpenes of all the oils. It deprograms misinformation and brings oxygen to cellular levels. Oxygen is so important for our cells to have, to remain healthy, and to function and support us. 98% of the chemistry of this oil is sesquiterpenes. It enhances deep sleep by stimulating melatonin. It promotes emotional releases and mental clarity. You know, in the chronic healing class for mental and emotional well-being, we learn about how our thoughts and our emotions influence our energy body and the vibration of our energy body. And have you ever noticed, if you feel really stressed or you feel really distressed or angry or irritated, that your ability to think clearly is diminished? So when we learn to clear that out of the energy body, then it helps with the mental clarity too. Cedarwood also has that function, which is really nice. In ancient times, they used it for lepers, ritual cleaning. They also used it in cosmetics, embalming, skin problems, and for calming effects. It's possibly the first and most ancient of the distilled oils. It was used by the Chinese, the Sumerians, and the Egyptians for embalming, hygienic, and other purposes 5,000 years ago. And it's mentioned in the Babylonian tablets of 1800 BCE. That is a very long time ago. Today, we can use it as an insect repellent. We can use it for hair loss. We can use it for tuberculosis, bronchitis, gonorrhea, acne, and psoriasis, in addition to all those other things. Okay, let's talk about hyssop. It's a pretty plant, actually. Hyssop was used as an anti-plague oil. It's very good for respiratory infections, viral infections, and parasites. It's used to strengthen and tone the nervous system, and it's very good for coughs, colds, asthma, and fevers. And it helps us release swallowed emotions. Next, we go to spikenard, or also known as nard. Mary took a pint of pure nard, an expensive perfume. In fact, a pint of pure nard was probably 1 year's salary for a person back in that time. So she took this expensive pint of nard and she poured it on Jesus' feet, and she wiped his feet with her hair. So spikenard is 50% sesquiterpenes, 30% monoterpenes, and therefore it's very, very oxygenating, very mood elevating, and it undoes and reprograms cells at the DNA level. It's also very hostile to microbes. It's a very fine oil. In ancient uses, they used it for perfumes. They used it for medicine, as a skin tonic. They used it as incense, as a mood enhancer. It reduces anxiety and heals scar tissue. It was applied as a precious oil in combination with myrrh. In ancient times, or in modern times, we can use it for allergies, migraines, nausea, cardiovascular support, tachycardia. It causes relaxation and soothing. It's emotionally calming, and it's mood elevating. Applied to the abdomen, inhaled, placed on the hands and feet is how we can use it. Now, interestingly, there's a spiritual side to spikenard also. So again, when you walk through the door of pranic healing and then enter into the spiritual part of pranic healing, this will be explained to you. But it's very, very powerful as far as a spiritual evolution too. Next, we have galbanum. Galbanum is another resin oil. It's 75% monoterpenes, and these monoterpenes reprogram cellular memory and thus help promote permanent healing. In ancient times, it was one of the ingredients of the holy anointing oil and the incense that was burned daily in the temple. It's very spiritually uplifting. It's very grounding, and you can use it for pain, relief, spasms, and cramps. And it's diuretic, which means it makes you go to the bathroom. In modern times, we can use it on abscesses, acne, asthma, chronic cough, cramps, indigestion, muscle aches, muscle pains, scar tissue, wrinkles, wounds, and it's very emotionally balancing. We can apply it topically or orally. Myrtle. In ancient times, we used it in religious ceremony for purification from ritual uncleanliness. Today, it can be used for thyroid and general hormone balancer, to soothe the respiratory system, decongestant, sinus infections, tuberculosis, colds, flu, coughs, bronchitis, asthma, skin conditions, acne and psoriasis, blemishes and bruises. You can apply it by inhaling it. You can rub it on the chest. You can diffuse it, and it's very suitable for children. So there we are. We have covered all of the presentation. So I hope you've learned a lot about the healing oils of the Bible, and I hope you've learned a lot about oils in general and how specific the applications to the support of our body and our body functions are actually to the chemistry of them and to the fact that they have high vibrational oils. Your presence here is greatly appreciated. So thank you for coming. Now, if you'd like to know more, there's a few reference books I'd lifted here for you if you'd like to check into them. There's a book called Modern Essentials, which is really a Bible of essential oils. It's a very thorough book. It describes the chemistry in great detail if you're interested in that. And it shows each of the oils in very deep detail. It also has many other applications and information in it that you will find invaluable to you if you really decide to apply oils for your healing and those of your family. And then a lot of the information I had for the lecture today came from David Stewart's book, Healing Oils of the Bible, and also The Chemistry of Essential Oils Made Simple. It's a very thick book, but it is a very good book. And then there's also a book on frankincense that is a very nice book, and I appreciated being able to read that book. Master Chokutsui has written 2 books that we are useful to the essential oils. One is the Basic Pranic Healing book, which talks about vibration in the body and how we can energetically clean our healing, our body through energy healing. And then the Advanced Pranic Healing book talks about color pranas. And in the color pranas are associated with the essential oils. As I said before, the essential oils have vibration. And part of the effect of the essential oil comes from their chemistry, of course. But the color pranas that are associated with the essential oils also influences their effect on the body. So those are also 2 very good books to read if you want to know more about vibration, raising your vibration, and for health and wellness. So thank you again for coming. Many blessings to you and your families. And I hope to see you soon in class, or feel free to contact me about the healing oils of the Bible. Many blessings to you, and namaste.